The Wingspan 110 challenge has a twist. We promise not only a score over 110 in this video, but also not to use the Killdeer or any ravens, no matter how tempted we might be. This is Legendary Tactics. I'm here with Cax today, and he is going to take us through our latest challenge.
Yeah, so I really started to notice a real pattern with some of my greater scoring games, and that was that the Killdeer and the Raven figured rather prominently. So I thought this game I'm going to totally mix it up. No Killdeer, no Raven, and I'm going to stay fully away from those two in order to try and hit his score, and will hit a score over 110. And
so what are you going to do then? What's the plan?
So right away from what I'm seeing in the card draw here, there's pink powers, and pink powers early, and especially ones that are like pretty easy to hit. Like there's a lot of multi-resource cards or multi-resource resources they'll take. That's amazing. So I can pretty much, I'll get one of them down right away. Probably was it the blue? I don't know. It wasn't the blue? The belted kingfisher there. So dropping that fella down like super early in the game.
And you're getting the ornithologists to go for birds that eat mice.
That's right. And
which tend to be wetland birds too.
Oh right, as my end of game. So the ornithologist, for end game. Oh, that Atlantic puffin too. That's one of my favorite cards in this game. Worth 8.
Draw 2 bonus cards and keep 1.
Yeah, it's so good. And it conveniently takes fish, so if I can somehow parlay into getting that card in my hand, I'd be quite happy with that.
Do you prefer the puffin early in the game so you know what to work towards for your bonus, or do you prefer it later when you already know what direction your hand is taken?
I'd say mid to later, because if it comes up mid-late, then you probably have the resources to spend on getting it down.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're kind of waiting a while to get those 3 fish. So, and it did disappear on me at last, but and there's another fish. Oh, darn. That's all right. So our belted kingfisher is down. So anytime any of the opponents plays into the wetlands, then I will be gaining a extra fish, which is
That's huge. That everybody else is feeding your engine.
That's right. And I don't. If those thinking that maybe that's claiming foul because I'm not using the Chihuahuan Raven, this is a very different way of collecting the resource. So I'm still going to claim that this is a fair and appropriate way to attack resources in another direction. So.
Absolutely, and we just want to say thanks to everybody who's watching along with us and learning and growing at the same time. We've just been working through a series of these videos to share with you how we're getting the high scores, and we appreciate you coming along and watching and commenting. So
very much so. Yes, we do appreciate it.
Add your thoughts below.
Sorry, the other was the black-billed magpie there, and that was an important one too. So when a player succeeds on a roll on their own board, then I do get a resource that way too. So there is some resource income coming in other the pink power direction, which is just a twist on the normal there. So,
well, in a game with 5 players too, the pink powers are way more powerful than in a 2-player game.
That is a really good point. Yeah. To the point that actually I could use a resource of that turn there to actually gain an extra egg, just to have that third egg down. So. A little more flexibility with laying birds now into the grasslands or wetlands.
That's right. Yep.
So, getting those 2 pink powers down nice and early too. Like, we're on turn 4 of the game. It's pretty great, because now I've got the whole game ahead of me, right, where they can constantly be a bit of a mill. So.
Yeah, you can siphon off your opponents.
Yeah. So another strategy I'm going to take this game is looking at card tucking. Basically is going to be a big key piece in this game for me, and gaining points that way too. So every time I take one of the abilities, boom, it'll be like tons of card tuck going on, and is my hope anyway. So we'll see if I can't continue to grow those engines.
Now, I see a lot of people doing card tuck in the wetlands because you draw the cards and tuck them instantly. I see you're starting to put them into the grasslands. What's your rationale there?
Well, early game it was just to get to the 3 egg drop, so I don't have to keep using my resources. So, and that particular card tuck is a slightly different one. That's the one where you actually draw a card, and if it fits the requirements,
75 centimeters or smaller, than you.
That's right.
You get to tuck. Yes, which most of the bird there's a huge proportion of birds are under that.
Right, and so that one is not coming out of my hand, which is kind of the key element there. So I'm not actually spending a card out of my own deck. it's
nice.
it's coming from the card the card draw. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a big reason why I put that one into grasslands as opposed to wetlands. So.
Okay.
So you can see right there, I'm looking at the card, so in it goes, and I love it. So another point. I'm not a huge fan of those particular cards, just because it's maybe, even if it's 70-30, that's still
the luck of the draw too.
Yeah, that means it's just still that there's 3 points I've left off the table, right? So
that's right. But you got to try something different. So
that's right. And I believe, double check now, I just missed him past the screen, but I think he does require mouse, so I think I did get my ornithologist up a little higher. So we'll take that as well.
Excellent. And you always go for the star powers, so that's really helpful too, because especially with these end of round bonuses.
Oh, and okay, so someone else took another
count.
bird where all players get the worm too. So I've got a bit of resource engine going, even without the raven, which is kind of good. So. Yeah, the Northern Harrier does take a mouse there, so that was kind of a good, an extra 2 points for me too. So important to consider that as well, right? What your end game bonuses are when you're playing birds.
For sure, yeah. Well, and look at your belted kingfisher. He counts in 3 different end of round bonuses, and here we are at the end of the first round.
Oh, and 7. I blasted out by 7 there. That was pretty solid. There was a lot of eggs
beautiful.
down, so it was good. So our next one is going to be birds in the grasslands. And I love that someone else has taken the Hummer, because I just love that passive income too. That is so great.
Yeah. Right, so here we are. The belted kingfisher will score for end of round bonus for rounds 1, 3, and 4. So you're really good at seeing those cross-platform birds.
Right. Yes. And a big piece of that generally is those star-powered birds. If you can, those, I think, I personally think there's extra little weight behind them, just because of that. Especially because the belted kingfisher can hold 4 eggs too. That is a lot of eggs that you can for most birds to get down. That's above average.
That was a great score early on. You really you picked well there.
Yeah, and I mean, only 2. Really, you only needed a fish and then any other resource.
There's a crow. Just noticed a crow, so you're purposely avoiding the fish crow.
Oh, and I'll tell you, it was not easy. Okay, because
good for you.
Anytime, but to be honest, at this point, yeah, there is the fish crow there, right? Yeah. At this point in the game, my resource income is doing all right. It's not.
Oh yeah, and it's coming from other players. You don't even have to click for it.
No. It could. Oh, the whooping crane. That's another one of my favorites. Actually, I love the whooping crane.
Love those bonus card draws.
Any 3 resources, 6 points, and it also gives you a bonus card. Like, that is just, yeah, that's got to go in hand.
You're just rolling in the fish.
No fish crow.
Do not take it. No, you're just hovering.
I know.
No. Little finger twitch there.
Yeah.
There's a Chihuahuan raven.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, there is. It would only be appropriate that they would show up in this game, where I purposefully.
Still in the second round, so they would still be useful to use now.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh, early in the second round. Yeah. Heck yeah. That's.
Yeah. And you need birds in the grasslands, so he would actually fit the bill perfectly. So this is actually really killing me to not take
a little
him.
bit. Now the only thing is, if you look at my resources, 3 fish, 3 worms, 1 wheat. I'm doing okay, so it's not the end of the world. In fact, I'll end up with a pretty good score. But
that 8-point white-faced ibis is a nice one too.
Birds that have 1 egg laid on them. So the ornithologist is that's the one I took there for the extra bonus. Yep. So that's, for me, I often take that when I have, maybe eggs on 2 birds, and if it's early in the game, I don't care at that point, because I know I'll just make sure to make a mental note to drop eggs on every single bird in those last few rounds. So
nice.
Yeah. So we got to get this white-faced ibis down here. Kind of helpful for the next round. So we're already I'm already planning out, the next go around where. That's going to be one of the prereqs there. And I got a lot of the rolling all the dice, if you notice there in the wetlands.
Look at all the fish. That is that is great.
It is really too bad I didn't get the end of game bonus that requires, a fish bonus, because that would
Well, hey, maybe it'll still come.
That's true. That's true. Wait and
You
see
love-
here.
Get that Bell's Vireo there, and you might pick it up, eh?
Sure. Yeah. There's some openings up there in the forest, so.
That white-faced ibis is 8 points, and he's got a fish creating power too, right? So he's a good bird.
Yeah, very powerful. That's always great too. If you can get those there's a lot of high-scoring birds that are just basically the points, right? Like 8 points, take it or leave it, right? And
well, in round 2, an 8-point bird that goes a long way at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I'd still maintain the puffin. Although I guess it depends when you can get it down, really. Because if you can get that ibis down early, and then he starts like collecting for you.
Well, I guess this makes sense here for you to be rolling when there's not a lot of there's dice not in the bird feeder, because you've got 2 birds there that collect on that power, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you're probably
yeah.
paying attention to that.
So here, I'm kind of torn because I can't tuck a card, so I'm already losing out on one of the abilities. Right. I have to just skip it, which is painful. I hate to lose a point that way. That's just kick in the teeth, but. That's okay. We'll keep battling here.
If you hit 149, that we'll remember this moment.
Yeah, there is another point, potentially added onto the score, right? So, another draw from the Hummer. Thank you very much, Hummingbird. Appreciate it. We'll take more fish.
Just about
another Hummingbird. Yeah,
round.
You got to love this when they're all out there, too. That's great. They're just flitting around for you. It's perfect.
Nice. You're on to your last turn.
Okay,
round.
So we'll get another fish. So we're up to 2 fish, 2 wheat. That's good.
Brilliant.
Now I don't know if you've noticed, I've been checking up in the forest a few times, and I'm doing that very purposefully because I'm looking at how many dice are, because if you notice, 2 of my cards there require the dice roll. So if there's no dice to be rolling, I'm losing out on 2 different card abilities, even a chance of getting a point. So I've been waiting. See, there's 5 dice right now in hand. It's not worth. Now there's only 3, so now it is. Now it's actually.
It's tempting.
Yeah, quite beneficial if I am gonna. And I've been looking for some birds, so it's probably a good time to. Oh, and that Bell's Vero is still in there. Okay, so we split there for end of roam bonuses.
That's a shame.
A little bit.
There's a few more lost. That would have been good to get 1 more down there.
Oh, the spotted owl too. Another 2-for-1 bonus. Oh, it's gone though. Rats. Draw a card. Why not?
There's little moments like that.
Oh, the wood stork. Another great one, eh? Look at that. And it fits this round's bonus. That is, like, perfect.
I find there's little moments here and there that you're missing that it's just 1 point here and 1 point there, but this is definitely proof that you can score even higher than you do end up scoring at the end of this game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not, like, the perfect game, but it's...
Wood stork.
So 3 out of 4 with nests so far. That's looking like I'm on my way to getting 4 points. You're right, and I mean I think any game you play in retrospect, it's I would argue it's almost impossible to play the perfect game. It's very
That's right.
it's highly unlikely to happen.
All you can do is just keep refining and getting better every game.
That's right. And that's part of the beauty of this game, actually. That you have that that kind of that challenge, right, for the next time. Where did I misplay, and try to remember that, and and then like add that to your banks, the memory banks and knowledge, and keep moving on.
Right. Yep. I do notice that you are using a strategy of end of game bonuses quite a bit now. So that might be a little secret for people watching it there.
Oh yeah, end of game bonuses is pretty key for sure. You got to have, if you want in the anything north of like 120, you got to have like probably 2 to 3 in hand.
And you're putting those down in the wetland, 2 of them now.
There's the Vero. That's actually a neat little. See that now there. I'm picking 2 characters that if I play them in tandem and the Vero allows me to do that, that would be an 11-point swing, right? And I've got nothing in there right now, so it would cost me 1 egg and I get 11 points out of it and a bunch of resources, which is fine.
Yeah. And can I ask why you're putting your draw 2 new bonus cards birds down in the wetland?
That they went down earlier, and that was just to get them in play and to get the bonus cards.
I think the one is your 4th bird in, so it went down fairly recently.
Yeah, I drew him up. I happened to draw him luckily, and it it just worked really well that way to get him.
But you're trying to avoid the grassland, right? Because the grassland is where you're getting your card tucks, so you don't want to plug that up.
Correct. Oh yeah. Oh for sure. Yeah. Yep. That's definite. Right. But although if you take a look at the in the wetlands, I still have like 2 cards there that are going to get me some potential points, which the Ibis already has. The Anhinga hasn't yet, but that's okay. It's coming along. We'll see if we can't get something out of there. Another star power there for that one bird in the forest there. That's awesome. I love those star powers, nice. And it's cheap to get down. And I don't know what the egg capacity is on it, but
sometimes those smaller guys and cheaper guys do have a bigger egg capacity.
That's right. Yeah. Although the star sometimes mitigates that a little bit. I find the game actually the designers were just brilliant in how they kind of
such a good balance.
Work through, like there's very rare situations where I'm comparing 2 birds and I think, like the same value or whatever, and like one is like markedly better, right?
Yeah.
There's always like a little pro and a con. Oh, there's a
and they're situational, right? So you can use a particular bird at a particular time is very valuable.
Yeah, definitely, right. And just depending on where it stacks and how you play them. So here I'm going with the little Vero power. Oh, so the Vero only holds 2.
Yeah,
but that Warbler holds 6.
Eggs. So there you go, the doubler. Nice.
Yes, we can get some. Get a little 2 for 1 down there. So there's 11 points. That's not bad.
Yeah, and that'll help with putting eggs on birds for the end for the oolologist.
That's right. Yeah, and birds with nest as well. I got another star down for that one, so that was good. I'm currently leading in the current category, which is good. Got a little 2-point buffer there.
Automata is up to 51 points though now, so.
Oh, pish posh, not worried. So now, so that Warbler, no, he doesn't really figure in for any of the bonuses, but that's okay.
Scissor-tailed flycatcher, the titular bird of the game.
Oh yeah, yes, gorgeous.
Any predictions on which of your opponents will score the second highest? Of course, they'll be after you because
they aren't touching. Yeah, please. That's a really good question. I haven't really seen. Quite frankly, I don't really pay much attention to their boards. I probably should do.
Well, that could certainly be. Yeah, you tend to play your own hand, but that could be a way to squeeze out a few extra points is to pop over and see what bonuses you can get from what they're doing.
Yeah, 100%. And that's probably an area that I got to improve on if I want to take it to even the next level.
There's just so much going on. It's hard to do everything.
Right. Oh, I do like that bush tit. That's a really good bird, actually.
Oh, yeah. You get him down the star power again.
Yeah. He is only worth 2, though, and we're starting to get into like the end game bonus or the end game here, which is the last round, and so
he might be a bit wasted.
Might be a bit late, but I mean, every time you play in his row, it's 2 points for him, basically. It's, you tuck a card and he lays an egg, so that's amazing. So, yeah, I don't.
It is getting late in the day though for that.
Yeah, because you only get 2 points for the actual playing of the bird. So, but in this case, getting the bush tit down there, I wouldn't have to give him any more resources. I don't actually even have enough currently to get that bird down. I'm just.
He's going to cost you
1
2 eggs
wheat
too.
short. Oh no, I can't do it. Okay, well.
He's almost a wash, though, because you lose 2 eggs to get him down.
Right. But then I don't have to worry about spending resources to get that 4th egg anymore, right? So that's the upside. And I have a chunk of room, so I can kind of hope that someone gives me another resource. I don't know. Yeah. So just checking up on the current status of the bird feeder, and it's worth the draw. I didn't see how many were in there, but we'll see how many. I get to roll 1 dice per. And nothing. See those cards there again. It's like, I mean, they're already worth a lot, so it's not terrible. Like the Ibis now has got me 9 points. That's really solid.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, look at those. All your mid is just filled up with these really weak birds. Like
nothing to write home about, right? Now this, if if I'm still considering, and it doesn't really matter here. I've got nothing that can really help me. If I can get, so I can actually, maybe this time re-roll to get that wheat. I'm going to go for that, the bush tit. Yeah, there it is. So
Beautiful.
I think that's the direction I'm going to go, because even though I know I'm getting down to my last 5 turns, getting the bush tit down means, and now I have cards in hand to tuck. So I can tuck, and I'll be getting 2 extra points per time I go into the eggs, which I'm going to be, because I need about 13 eggs to fill my tableau up. So, and crushed it with 15.
Go. End of round 3, just smoked them.
And if you look at round 4, I'm already at 10, and the next is I think it was at 4 or something. So it's,
which is great, because you can just focus on maximizing points and not trying to win that race.
And the bush tit can actually hold a lot of eggs too. 5 eggs. That's great.
Okay. 15 out of 28. So, that could... I can see a bit of value there in that sense.
Right, and I have 3 eggs. I have 3 cards. So the next 3 turns, I'll be dropping card, dropping card, dropping card, right? So there's no more... It's actually pretty prescribed my next 4 turns, probably, if I can fit them all on the board.
It does fit the card tuck strategy, so...
Now, the only snag is the next card is also a tuck card ability. So I may have to actually go to the well one more time and pick up some more cards from the grasslands.
Right.
Or sorry, the wetlands, and just fill up my my mitt a little further.
The Automa is only at 64 points.
That's
so
actually helpful too. It actually gave me a card. That's genius.
Beautiful.
So we have to go make sure that we fill up our. That's as far as we can get in the wetlands. So now it's going to be a matter of, can I hold on? Can I hold on?
And you want to avoid putting on the bush tit wisely. You did there, because he's going to fill himself up.
Right. Yep. Stay away from that. Yeah. Leave him wide open. I mean, he won't fill himself all the way up, but you don't want to make the mistake even of accidentally
even losing an egg or 2. Yep. They all add up. That's
right. And I just realized, so I can actually, for that house finch, you tuck a card, but you also draw a card. So it just sort of recycles a card, but it gives you an extra point.
That's right.
So now when I take eggs this turn, it'll be 4, 5, 6 for the bush tit, 6 for the finch, and if I get the right one, 7. So that's 7 points per turn. When I'm playing into the grasslands, which is not bad. 7 points per round is fairly respectable.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
assuming you're already over 100 points, then that's decent.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I'd prefer to be over 110, but we'll see. So I've already got my eggs maxed out. I've got 2 out of 4 rodents, with rodents on them, so that's 4 points. And I missed. I think the last one was the nests. I need a certain nest, so. I need a nest. Yeah, and I have 5 of 7. Can I hit the 6th, though? That's the question. 6 would bump me up to the next category, so.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, if I can get a high scoring. And there's. So that warbler is quite interesting to me.
Yes, the hooded warbler would be a nice. I like you're checking your end of round bonuses or end of game bonuses.
Yeah, because now
to see if he fits
that warbler is 7, but he's also going to bump me up 3 more points. So he's worth 10 because he would get me to the next tier.
Ooh,
yeah, okay. And for the cost of 1 egg, and I've got tons of resources, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, that looks like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I believe so. Now. One of the things I'm noticing I should have maybe done better at was I didn't get myself all the way maxed out in the grasslands.
Right.
And I'm kind of thinking, had I maxed out in the grasslands, that would have, I have all these resources. I hate ending games with. Look at all I have
5
11
worms,
resources sitting on my bench. That's such. It's just not great resource management, I think. In my mind.
That's right. You need to convert that. So. I think we've probably found about 10 points already that you could have earned in retrospect.
Yeah, maybe 10. I don't know. I would say 5 for sure, but I think actually, if I'd gotten that bird into the grasslands sooner, every time for 1 resource, I'm getting an extra egg down, right? So yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
The resources really are. Without having a raven, I'm still it was just awesome to have those those Hummers down as early as
I
they
guess
were too.
It's the butterfly effect too, though, because if you change something in the past, then that's going to reverberate through the rest of your board too. So, you know what? You can't do everything.
No, you're right, and that's a really good point. And I am stuck at 11, so unfortunately, I just have to try and maintain that 11, at least a tie for 11. So there's another thing that you could look at in hindsight and say, oh.
I thought you were solidly in the lead, but yeah, they've really closed the distance. So,
maybe there's yeah.
This is just about the end of this game, though.
This is where we're right down to brass tacks, so hopefully I get one more point, and I do get a point. All right, take that extra one more in the bank there. That's good. So that Northern Harrier did all right. Five extra card tucks there. The Housefinch 4. Bush hit 3 more, plus 3 eggs. So the Bush ended up being 8 points. That's any bird that gets you 8 points. That's a respectable score for a bird.
Absolutely.
I aced my wildlife gardener there, getting maximum there. The oolologist, I believe I maxed out there. Yep, got my 6 there. The rodentologist was a little weaker, but that's okay. We still got 4, so that's not bad. 1 extra worm for the road here, and a fish. Why not? Oh man, look at that. 6, 6, 3, 1. Oh, jeez.
Here we go.
We split. So 5 points instead of
this.
There's 2 more points potential.
2 more
left
points.
On the board.
Yeah.
All right. So total value of birds here. I'd like to see around 50. That'd be great. 50 is kind of my benchmark. Oh, 59. I'll take it. That's great. Bonus cards should do pretty good here. Yeah, I'd like to see around 20, but that's okay. End of goal bonuses. 18 is solid. 17 to 20 is good. Eggs 30. Oh, I'd like to see 30. Okay. Tucked cards, I'll do okay here. Oh, 134. Oh, boy.
Brilliant. And the Automa takes second place with 82 points.
Pulled it out. Actually, it's kind of funny how the other AIs all kind of finished between, in a 10-point gap.
Very close, yeah. Well, congratulations on this score. We'll keep looking to you pushing your scores even higher and higher.
Thank you. Yes, 150 is on my radar, so we're gonna see. And I may have to use a Killdeer or a Raven there. We'll see.
If you enjoyed this play-by-play, you can show your appreciation by pecking the like button and subscribe. And we'll keep putting out Wingspan content. Thanks so much for joining us.